It requires 1,000 steps per mile, over 13.1 miles. Center City to the Falls Bridge and back. They come as world champions, Olympians, national and state record holders. Athletes from 44 states, 17 foreign countries, a record 8,224 in all. Join the previous 17 years as America's most prestigious challenge over the half marathon distance. Setting 50 world, national, and age group records on the fastest half marathon course on American shores. Welcome to the 1995 Philadelphia Distance Run on PHL 17. The distance run is supported by Geo Cars and Trucks, a supporting sponsor for the past 7 years. After a summer's worth of drought, the skies have opened up over Philadelphia to a steady, slanting rain. Welcome relief for the community, but for the runners too, who will be embraced by its cooling cover. And on today's program, we'll follow a very intriguing family whose father has run all previous 17 PDRs.
First time in 18 years it's rained in the Philadelphia Distance Run, so I guess we've been fortunate. I don't mind the rain too much because it's kind of cooling. You don't have to worry about that hot sun.
And any advice to the rest of your family?
Just hang in there and everything will be all right and you'll feel great after the race.
Okay, let's move on. Beth, how do you feel today?
I feel very apprehensive, and I do mind the rain very much. Last night I did not stay up for the Miss America pageant because I wanted to get my rest for this race, but I should have stayed up for the Miss America pageant because I didn't sleep very much, being concerned about the rain.
Okay. And Beth, how do you feel?
I feel great. I got a good night's sleep, and although the weather isn't too nice today, I think we're all going to do fine. So I'm looking forward to it.
And Mike, what's words of wisdom?
Not any, really. Just wish I had a little more rest, definitely. But there's no excuses today. I just got to go out and run my race, do a good race.
Okay. Like running in the rain?
Actually, I haven't run in the rain probably for about 6 months, so kind of interesting. I don't mind it.
Hi everybody, I'm Tony Revis in Center City. Welcome to the 18th running of the Philadelphia Distance Run here on PHL 17. We've got some competitors here. Excuse me, sir. You got an Atlanta, Georgia t-shirt on. You're heading for the Olympics, I understand.
Yes, I am.
How's this rain make things change for you today?
Not too bad. It's great.
It's going to cool you down?
A little bit.
The wind's going to slow you down?
No.
See, that's the attitude. Thanks very much. What's your name, by the way?
Herbie Banks from New Jersey.
Herbie, give me your best shot.
Thank you.
We got another competitor right here. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Wayne Smith.
Where are you from, Wayne?
Hanover, Pennsylvania.
And so how is this?
It's not going to be any different than any other race. It's just a little wet.
If it was sunny, you're going to be
fast. It's going to be fast.
You think it's going to be fast?
I think so. It's cool. It's cool. It's not hot. People aren't going to be, overheating or anything like that. I think it's going to be a good competitive race.
Herbie, congratulations and good luck to you. Hello, sir. What's your name? Where are you from?
Dave Bixler from Hanover.
And how do these conditions suit you?
Don't really bother me too much. Don't like running in the rain, but what the heck.
See, this is the attitude that you get all along here, the 8,000 people who have signed up for the 18th running of the PDR. Joining me on the broadcast today is the American record holder in the mile, Steve Scott. Steve, we just talked to 3 random people here at the starting area as they're about to get underway, and everyone just seems to be in a good mood. It's almost like they're sharing the difficult conditions, and that sort of makes it better and tolerable.
Well, I think so. I think there's strength in numbers. If everybody's got to go through the conditions like this, then they all kind of draw from it, and it could be a pleasurable experience. I just hope that the temperature heats up a little bit so we don't get any of the hypothermia out there on the course.
You know, there's a lot of people here who are running in their first races, and that's actually pretty good conditions for them. The question we have today is how fast are the lead contenders for the victory going to go? We've had one young man from Pennsylvania out of Kenya, Joseph Kamau, a real favorite in the race, who told us straight up he thinks he can run the fastest time ever in the PDR history. What are his chances now?
Well, we have 2 people that are potential winners from the Philadelphia area, Elaine Van Blanc and Joseph Kamau. I don't really like Joseph's chances too much today because the rain is no problem because that cools them off later in the race. They don't get overheated, but the wind is going to be a problem. Out on the course, there's a lot of open areas where the wind could really impede his chances. But it's going to be a great race regardless.
Absolutely. The 18th PDR almost set to get on. Here's our defending champion, William Koech out of Kenya. Been training back home all summer long, only been back in the States 1 week. This is Gideon Matisha, another of the Kenyan stars, third here last year, always a contender. Steve, the conditions, they're very raw. It's just not, it's a slanting rain.
The conditions are going to be a factor today. I talked to Lisa Buster, who's an agent for some of the Kenyans, and she says the Kenyans just don't like running in the rain.
Here's the start. No guns anymore, just on your mark and go. In 8,224, a record field at the 18th running of the Philadelphia Distance Run. That's 400 more than last year's record number of 7,800.
I tell you what, Tony, people back in the East Coast, they don't get turned off by bad weather conditions. If this was back in California, half the people wouldn't show up.
As we begin the race, the actual race day temperature is 60 degrees, obviously 100% humidity. The wind's 20 miles an hour from the northeast. And Steve, since most of the race is along the Schuylkill, it's more of a crosswind, really, than a head or tailwind in any one particular spot.
Yeah, it's easier to see where the wind's going to be going out on the most of the course. Through the downtown section, though, it's hard to predict because the wind is coming in and out of the buildings, and I think they're going to get big gusts of wind coming out from the downtown area.
Many of the Kenyans who are so weight conscious, very bantamweight type of athletes, they're going to be hiding, I would think, in the early miles behind their bigger competitors and let them break that wind until they can figure out either their rhythm or where that wind can be used as a steadying device.
Oh, especially someone like Joseph Kamau, who spends his free time as a kite. he's so thin.
He's a very small man. He's not much over 5 feet, if at all. And if he weighs 105 pounds,
that's dripping wet.
He's wearing weights. Most of the media may get caught up in that elite competition out front, but this is a weekend's worth of activities here at the Philadelphia Distance Run. We've got the Aetna Health Plan Children's Run, which happened the day before, and we'll show you highlights of that later in the program. Of course, the Runners Expo going on at the Host Hotel, the Pasta Party, and the PDR, like so many of America's great road races, has turned into a real family affair. And the enthusiasm, they better save some of that. A half marathon is a daunting distance, and they get a little bit juiced at the starting line.
Most of these people we see here are just running for the fun of it. The back of the packers, it takes them a while to get to the heart of the race. It takes them 2 minutes before they can get to the starting line.
Well, more from the PDR right after this.
GeoPrism is built to some of the highest standards of quality. No wonder it's been ranked best model in its price class in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates 2 years in a row. Now, one might say this puts Prism on somewhat of a pedestal. But being priced as affordably as it is puts Prism very much within reach. Get to know GeoPrism at your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
Dad, could you leave the door open a crack?
How's that?
Could you check the closet one more time?
Nothing here.
Are you sure there's nothing under my bed?
No monsters here. Okay?
Okay.
Good night, buddy.
Dad?
Yeah?
Could you leave the hall light on?
Cops helping kids, that's PAL. The Police Athletic League offers a safe haven to more than 16,000 boys and girls. Give kids a chance to belong to a team. Your contributions support good citizenship awards, sports, scholarship, and talent programs. It costs $320 a day to keep a youngster in a detention center. It only costs 30 cents a day to keep a kid in PAL. Invest in our future. Invest in a PAL kid. For more information, call 215-426-5206.
And welcome back to the 18th running of the Philadelphia Distance Run. I'm Tony Revis, along with the American record holder in the miles, Steve Scott. Steve, ever do a half marathon?
Yeah, actually I did, Tony. I was stupid enough to do one several years ago.
This is number 7, Martin Pitayo from Mexico, one of the great Mexican runners who's in this field. He's been a former runner of the year on the road circuit, former Chicago Marathon champion, 6th at the London Marathon, and he just represented Mexico at the World Half Marathon Championships earlier this year. He is a real contender, a real veteran, and the fact that he's up front early is a sign that he seems very relaxed and in good form.
Well, he knows what's running behind him. He's got a whole flock of Kenyans running behind him, and that's got to be something that is going to be bearing on his mind as he takes the lead in this race.
You can tell that with that big guy in the white shirt and the black trunks in the front, I mean, big guy, he's probably 145 pounds, but he looks like one of the Philadelphia Eagles compared to these lightweights that are right behind him. It's not a very fast pace. The wind is more in their face right now. The first mile went by in 4:46. That's 10 seconds slower than record pace.
Well, we saw that when we were at the Crim race a couple of weeks ago. The first mile was very slow, but they ended up running record time. So I think they're just kind of feeling out the wind, the factors, and could very potentially pick it up quite a bit as the race progresses.
There is a great rivalry between the Kenyans and the Mexicans. Both these countries have altitude. Their athletes grow up in it. They train at 10,000 feet sometimes and more, and they really have a very strong rivalry between the two countries. These athletes are vying for a total prize purse $25,000. First place for both men's and women's will be $3,500 each. As we watch Lazarus Nyakaraka take a little spurt, 19 years old, and he's won a couple of times. He's come into this race with the victory just last weekend, so he's somebody we have to take seriously.
Yeah, he ran a record time down in Clarksville, Tennessee over 5K. He ran 13:37. And one of the other contenders in this race, Joseph Kamau, was 6th in that race over 5K.
But 5K may be Lazarus Nyakaraka's distance. Kamau does better as the distance extends.
Oh, absolutely. We saw that at the Bobby Crim 10-miler, where Kamau led most of the race, only to be kicked down by Thomas Osano in just the last 400 meters.
It'll take these fastest men in the world a little over 1 hour to complete these 13.1 miles. Now let's see how the course looks every day, but at hyperspeed. I don't know about you, Steve. I'd rather run than drive over those courses.
Me too, Tony, but that thing gave me a headache.
First look at the women's competition. In the hat, right on the center of the screen, Debbie Kilpatrick out of Ohio, our national marathon champion. Right next to her, from the former Yugoslavia, Susanna Siric, who's been running very well out on the tour. She was 10th at the Krim Road Race a couple of weeks ago and 2nd at the Parkersburg Half Marathon. But leading the way is Elaine Van Blunk out of Drexel Hills, Pennsylvania, coming off a disappointment at the World Championships in Sweden, dropping out of the marathon at the 13 or 30-kilometer mark.
Also up there is Tatiana Pozniakova from the Ukraine, who is a Houston Marathon champ. And the thing about her, she's 39 years old and out there being very competitive.
Yeah, she's in the back. She is in the red shorts and the sort of gray top. And just over her shoulder on the far curb in the bobbing blonde ponytail is Kim Jones, a former champion in this race. Very closely knit field in the women's competition early on. Some of the top women had dropped out before they came to Philadelphia, but the field is very strong, but more than that, very well matched.
There's no loss for the Dromedars.
Elaine Van Blunk we had a chance to visit with earlier in the week. She's not only a runner, she's on the PDR board. 32-year-old Elaine Van Blunk lives in Drexel Hill with her husband Jim and their Himalayan cat Count. Their home, as a matter of fact, is scattered with more cat memorabilia than trophies from her very successful running exploits. This St. Joseph's University graduate combines her running career with a successful career as an accountant and easily remembers her history at the PDR.
91 was my first half marathon ever, so I was glad to do it in Philadelphia. And I just like running this race in Philadelphia since it's in my backyard practically, and I train down in that area a lot during the year, around the river, so it just makes it easier for me to run this race.
Elaine is one of those women who seems quite able to mix her two careers.
Well, working for me tends to work really well. I work 25 hours a week, so I have time to train, and it gives me something to do besides just running. I tried not working for a while, and it didn't go as well as I thought it would, because then when you're not working, you feel like, okay, you have to be running, and that's the only thing you really focus on. With working, you have the time of day where you don't even think about running because you're too busy at work, and it just breaks up everything for you. I mean, I've been working for over 3.5 years with this company, and they have been just tremendous. Whenever I needed time off, they've given it to me. If I need to rearrange my schedules for travel, they've had no problem with it.
There's no doubt that Count is the top cat on the block, and it seems whenever Elaine's around, Count is only a few steps away.
Except when I'm gone for a couple weeks, he gets mad at me when I get home. He'll go to gym and won't come near me for a day or two, and then warms up after I've been home. So he does know when I'm gone, and he gets mad sometimes when I'm gone for a long time.
I'll tell you, with that coat that Count's got, he would have anything to do with these conditions, all that water. Can you imagine what these shoes are going to weigh after a half marathon?
But I saw him go through that puddle, Tony. I wasn't sure whether this was a running race or a triathlon.
Yeah, a steeplechase. Now look at this. After Martin Patayo led the first part of this race, now he's been replaced, and the Mexicans have been replaced by a whole phalanx of Kenyans. And the one question I have, Steve, with all that water on the course, runners who like to run tangents, cutting the course as short as possible, are now going to have to run around sections because of the depth of that water.
It's going to slow down this race considerably, Tony. There's been a drought in the Northeast the whole summer long. This is really the first rain they've had, and the road is always very oily and very slick. So the athletes, when they're taking these turns, are going to have to be very careful. And I'd imagine in the back of the pack, you're going to see probably quite a few people having little skinned knees as they come across the finish line.
I think all of a sudden you're not going to realize that the street in front of you is full of water. Some other people have noticed it at the last minute and jump to the side. There could be some trips and falls. Well, more from the PDR right after this.
The Geo Prism has a beautiful interior and comes with standard dual airbags, crush zones, reinforced door pillars, and a rugged steel safety cage, which helps explain why the interior still looks this beautiful, even when it's in this car. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know the new Geo Prism.
This year, spend more time, not more money, in a beachside destination that's becoming America's first choice for family entertainment. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're closer than you think, with more excitement than you dream and full of the value and variety that have made us famous. And now, for a limited time, we've got your ticket to big-time fun with Premier Resorts packages starting at only $99. This year, go half the distance for twice the fun. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
GeoPrism is built to some of the highest standards of quality. No wonder it's been ranked best model in its price class in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates 2 years in a row. Now, one might say this puts Prism on somewhat of a pedestal. But being priced as affordably as it is puts Prism very much within reach. Get to know GeoPrism at your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
We are back at the 1995 Philadelphia distance run. Steve, the second mile run in 4:52. They're 32 seconds off the course record even this early on.
Well, today isn't a day to look at world records or American records or course records. Today is a day to look at the competition, and we've got a great competitive field running here.
Now this is Joseph Kamau, closest to the camera in the blue, the early race favorite leading in, and now as they head toward that 3-mile mark, he has gone to the front. He told us that was going to be his strategy. If it wasn't fast at 3 miles, 5 kilometers, he was going to start pushing the pace.
And he actually comes from a very fine bloodline. He's the cousin of 5-time world cross-country champion John Ngugi. And he's also been very hot. He was first at Falmouth, second at the Crim, and beforehand he said he feels he's as ready as he's ever been.
Sure, at present I'm better than Crim or Fairmouth. I have no injury, I'm not feeling any pain anywhere. I'm fit, but maybe only weather will determine, but physically I'm fit.
Now there's a rumor circulating that you've said you'd like to go for the fastest time ever run in America in a half marathon. Is that true?
Sure, my intention was to do that in America when I came back from Kenya to come to America. This was the race which was in my mind. I came here and said, if I would be fit, I would run the fastest time in America. So if the weather favor me and the competition favor me, I would try to do it.
How are you in the rain? Do you like running when it's a little cold and rainy?
The problem is humid. If there is no humid or wind, no other problem. Rain, I don't mind about rain. If there is no humid, nor wind.
The thing that the other athletes in this race don't know is that Joseph Kamau is suffering from severe stomach problems. We learned this from his agent earlier this morning. And if they did know that, they probably would be trying to push the pace.
It seems like Kamau's the one doing the pushing right now as they head over toward the West River Drive around Eakins Oval, and only Martin Pitayo of the Mexican contingent is breaking up that lead Kenyan pack. There's Kim Jones, Spokane, Washington, 37 years old, the leading American marathoner of 1995, coming off a disappointment in the World Champs.
I'm using this race to run it well, so I'm not using it. But I had a real bad experience at the World Championships. I guess it was 5-6 weeks ago, and I was very fit for the race, and I ran the marathon, but it didn't take a lot out of me physically. Mentally, I had to rest and recover a bit. But physically, I'm so fit and ready to go that I wanted to choose Philadelphia as, kind of the race to see where I'm at and if I'm going to run in the Chicago Marathon in 4 weeks, and it kind of be a good indicator of that.
Kim Jones has suffered from exercise-induced asthma throughout her career, and so normally she starts off in a fairly conservative way and then builds. When she won this race a number of years ago, she didn't take the lead until after the 12-mile mark, but she seems to be running very strongly right with the leaders here today.
Well, we got a great race brewing here, Tony. We've got a pack of no less than 5 women all running together, and this is gorgeous.
Only if you have to.
Kim Jones, Susanna Sirak from the former Yugoslavia, Elena Pozniakova from the Ukraine, Debbie Kilpatrick, marathon champion of the United States, and Veronica Kanga is also in there from Kenya, and slightly falling back now is Elaine Van Blanc. But Jones is doing the controlling at this particular time, and they're actually using those men in front, especially that big fella in the white, to break some of that wind.
You can see by looking in the eyes of these women that they are focused and they are serious. This is all business, but not far behind them, things are a little bit less serious.
Slow down, slow down, slow down. Come here. What's your name? What's your name?
Sarah, names.
Sarah?
Biddle from Philadelphia.
All right, how many times have you run this?
What's that?
How many times have you run this? How do you like it so far?
It's great, really good.
What made, out of 15 years I heard they've never had rain. And is it because you two started?
We always run in rain. Always.
You love the rain.
Yeah, we love it. We'll do it.
All right, good luck.
In order for folks like this to be having the time they're having, you need thousands of volunteers to line the course. And today, we've got many volunteers from the Police Athletic League donating their time. We had a chance to visit the PAL headquarters earlier this week to see how their 50-year-old program assists in the lives of Philadelphia's kids. And the officer in charge at the PAL headquarters, Ernie Rear.
I believe they came to PAL looking for some volunteers to help out along the way as medic aides, because all the Philadelphia police officers are involved at PAL also are trained in first aid. We're going to help them out in that aspect, as well as they're going to allow some PAL kids to participate in the youth run distance event. It's really nice to see a young boy or girl grow from the ages of maybe when I get them at 8, 9, and 10 to their teenage years, and a couple of kids that start out as teenagers up until they graduate high school, and then we're able through our PAL Scholarship Fund to fund a few scholarships, $1,000 each, to graduates heading on to college.
That one over there, in a yellow shirt and black hat. This is Billy McHugh, and there's Mike over there. How the game going, Bill? We're winning 18-3. Good game.
The kids really need it. There's not a lot else going on for them in a lot of the areas where we're located. It just gives them an opportunity to come off the street, get involved with the police officer, and have fun.
It's a two-way street, though. I mean, not only do you get something out of it, but I mean, with all the, it just seems lately in the last year or two, I mean, police nationwide are getting not the best reputation in the world. This is exactly what's necessary at the community level, where people can not just identify some police force, but an individual with a first name, a last name, and a face and a character.
Yeah, that's our theme, cops helping kids, and hopefully that's what we're accomplishing. They see the policeman, maybe not with a nightstick and handcuffs, they see him in a positive fashion, learn his first name, and just interact with them. And hopefully down the road, they'll treat that policeman out on the street with respect.
I've been doing placements and stuff and not going to school and stuff, but now I just start to go every day. And they put me in this program.
And what have you got out in it so far? What have you found out about it so far?
It's a cool place to come play games and stuff, to stay out of trouble.
Even if we only reached one person and save that one person from taking the wrong step or making that wrong decision, I think PAL's worthwhile. But I know for a fact we reach hundreds of kids every day, every year.
Ernie Rear at the finish line, working as a volunteer today. We appreciate meeting him and Sergeant Linneman and all the kids. The kids were just fantastic. There's 21 PAL centers all over Philadelphia. They help about 20,000 kids. It's a great program.
They have quite an alumni that come from that program too. Tony, Frankie Avalon, Wilt Chamberlain, Joe Frazier, just to name a few. So it's a very successful, long-running program.
The Kenyans have taken complete control of this race as the race goes past Boathouse Row and up West River Drive. Joseph Kamau is up at front, and falling a little bit behind is our defending champion, William Koech. Now, he hasn't run any races all summer long, so he's probably strong as he heads toward his marathon this fall, but he's probably not very sharp.
Well, he just spent the summer in Kenya. He's only been in the United States for a week, and typically when a Kenyan comes over from Kenya, they're not in that sharp of fitness. They're very strong, but they're not very sharp. So it's going to take him a while to round into fitness, and he'll race himself into shape.
The wind is coming from the northeast today, and as the women go around Eakins Oval and we take a look at Elaine Van Blunk, she's discarded that hat that she was wearing. She's going for some water, and she doesn't look like she's really in rhythm right here. The fact that she's going for water, and that's her priority, and not staying in close contact with the other women who are in that lead pack, tells me that she's in a little bit of difficulty. The men are heading into the heart of their competition, the women still sorting things out. We'll return with more of the 1995 Philadelphia Half Marathon right after we take this time out.
This year, spend more time, not more money, in a beachside destination that's becoming America's first choice for family entertainment, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
The Geo Prism has a beautiful interior and comes with standard dual airbags, crush zones, reinforced door pillars, and a rugged steel safety cage, which helps explain why the interior still looks this beautiful, even when it's in this car. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know the new Geo Prism.
I'm a nurse, and I'm a nurse first, and I'm an Aetna employee second. The care is first. You know, is that patient being handled appropriately? I would hope that we would all care about patients the way we would ourselves or our own family members. And that's the way I see it, that, you know, that's my job.
Welcome back to the Reign Philadelphia Distance Run. This portion of the Philadelphia Distance Run is brought to you by Aetna Health Plan, official sponsor of the Aetna Health Plan Children's Run. John Kagwa, wearing number 4, has gone to the front to join the chase along with Joseph Kamau. And they're right in the teeth of the wind right now, coming from the northeast. So even though it's a dead flat course, this is where the wind is at its strongest, right in their face. And this is where Kamau seems to be doing some hard work.
Right, they're coming into the 6-mile mark, which is basically a little under the halfway point, and this is a critical part of the race. And when you're running against the wind, it's like running up a hill. And this is a good point in the race to make a move and see how many guys you can drop, and that's precisely what Kamau is doing.
He's really driving. 29-13 was his 10K split, and he's trying to put the wood to him. He's trying to get away right now and win the race. Kagwa's struggling in second, and everyone else falling behind suddenly. This is where Kamau's trying to do the job.
It looks like that one move pretty much put most of the runners away.
The question you always have is whether or not an athlete's move to the front puts himself away later on in the competition, where he has to pay the penalty for a strong move, which seemed to work earlier on. But this guy's running so well out on the circuit, only getting beat in sprints to the tape, that this is really the most telling part of the race. And if they don't get him now, they may never get him.
Well, judging by the slow early pace, the first 5 miles were relatively slow when you compare against previous years. He's still running well within himself, and if they don't match his move now, they're going to be in big trouble.
Kagwa is a training partner. They live and train together about 30 minutes outside of Philadelphia, so that gives both of them an advantage, and Kagwa knows very well what the strengths of Kamau are. Now we go back to the women's competition, where the pack is still very tight, led by Kim Jones from Spokane, Washington, the American in the Reebok top, Pozniakova from the Ukraine, Sirik out of the former Yugoslavia, Kanga from Kenya, and Elaine Van Blanc holding on.
Pozniakova has a range similar to that of Rod Dixon. She has a 3:56 1,500 meters and a 2:30 marathon.
How do you like this race, John?
I love it.
Even in the rain?
Better in the rain.
Tell me what's to your right away?
Perfection. See a river.
Boathouse Row. John, are you married?
Boathouse Row, man.
Are you married, John?
Yes, sir.
All right, say hi to your wife.
I said.
Say I love you.
I love you, baby.
All right, good luck.
Hi, I'm Valerie. And I'm Valerie. And welcome to the Aetna Health Run Kids Run.
Now in its 3rd year, the Aetna Health Plan Children's Run has become one of the most popular events of the PDR weekend. Over 500 kids ages 3 to 12 run from 40 to 440 yards, and what a time they have. Some starters more reluctant than others.
Hi, did you just finish that race?
Yes.
How'd it go?
Good.
Good. How far did you go? Do you know?
50 miles.
Yeah. Now, what's your name? What's your name here?
Eric.
Eric, show us your medal. I want to see what your medal looks like. I think you won that race, didn't you?
I did.
Just sort of the champion?
Good luck, Eric. You got a career in front of you. And now we're with a bunch of the, PAL runners? Hold it. All right, what have you learned so far from the 3-year-olds?
You ain't gotta be scared. You ain't gotta be scared just how fast as you gotta run.
Okay, whether the pressure's on the 12-year-olds because you guys are the oldest, right?
Yeah.
All right, so how far you guys got to run then?
400. How much? 440. 440.
You're coming into the day's activity and you don't even know how far you're going to go? All right, so what are you going to study? I mean, you got to study all the 3, 4, 5s up to the 11s. So you guys will be pumped or exhausted by that time it's over. All right, good luck, pal runners. Included in the $5 entry fee, all the kids get those medals and they get T-shirts. There's refreshments, and it's almost like a fair out on Eakins Oval with a moon bounce and the most spectacular balloon sculpturing you've ever seen. Pony rides, the petting zoo, a great day's activity. Back to the race, and there's Don Flynn, paterfamilias of the Flying Finn family, or something like that. We're here at Overlook Hills in the city of Abington, Maplewood Drive, actually, at the home of the Flynns. The Flynns, who are en masse running the Philadelphia Distance Run. Flynns, hi.
Hello.
Now, who do we have here?
My name is Beth Flynn. And I'm also Beth Flynn, the mother.
And Don Flynn.
Now, who's the captain? And this isn't even the entire aggregate either. I mean, there's more.
Have Michael and a lot of our neighbors have participated in helping us run, and they're going to run in the distant run on Sunday too.
Now, who's the ringleader?
My husband, Don.
Now, Don, we talked to your son, Michael, down at Temple, and he told us some things which we look upon as tragic about your life. The fact that your running streak is enormous. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm just a bit compulsive, I guess. I never intended for it to be a streak. After I'd run for a couple years, I just decided to try to see if I could run for 1 year straight. And it kind of just added on there, and it got to the point where it was silly to stop running just for the sake of running, and before I knew it, increased to 12 or 13 years.
I think we're talking about the Cal Ripken of Abington.
I think you're right.
No, see, and the interesting thing is on the other end of the spectrum, Beth, this is your, first opportunity?
This is my very first time. I am not an athletic person. I've never done an athletic thing in my life, and I'm getting extremely nervous about running this race. But I'm going to give it my best shot because I'm interested in doing a marathon in Atlantic City on October 15th for leukemia, because one of our friends died of leukemia named Jane Duffin. So we would like to honor her by doing this race.
Now, Beth, you've never run a half marathon. You're not athletic, and yet in 1 month's time, you're running a full marathon.
I know, I'm taking on an awful lot, but I'm going to try, and I think I can do it.
Now,
My husband's been training me.
That's great. Now, young Beth, what is your athletic background, and have you run the Philadelphia Distance Run before?
Yes, I have. This is my third run. And I have played lacrosse in high school, and I was always pretty athletic growing up, with my father, and my brother is very athletic as well. And now I'm doing my third run, and I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm definitely proud of my mother because she's, going to be out there with us.
Ready to go. Don's running a sub-8-minute pace right now, so he's having a good day. We'll check in with the rest of the family as the race extends.
This is number 16, Stephen Niamu from Kenya, leading the second pack, fighting for second place as Joseph Kamau put in miles of 4:24 and 4:34 in miles 9 and 10 and really broke open this field, Tony.
Now we telescope ahead around Eakins Oval as the pack for second has given up on the victory, which Kamau has wrapped up, and this is the race for second, and it turns into a real barn burner. That's Niamu, Miundi, Nyakaraka, and Mutisha.
And this is categorically the best women's race they've ever had at the Philadelphia Distance Run, as Veronica Kanga and Susan Sirik have taken over the lead from Pozniakova and Kim Jones. And at this point, with Pozniakova's personal best over 1,500 of 3:56, somebody has to make a move early. She's got the leg speed.
But those are 39-year-old legs. Jones is 37. Sirik's a marathoner, beaten twice by Pozniakova, and the Kenyans don't think they can sprint. We got a crapshoot heading for a tape break.
from the best seat at the Philly Distance Run. We'll be right back.
Dad, could you leave the door open a crack?
How's that?
Could you check the closet one more time?
Nothing here.
Are you sure there's nothing under my bed?
No, no monsters here. Okay?
Okay.
Good night, buddy.
Dad?
Yeah?
Could you leave the hall light on?
GeoPrism is built to some of the highest standards of quality. No wonder it's been ranked best model in its price class in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates 2 years in a row. Now one might say this puts Prism on somewhat of a pedestal. But being priced as affordably as it is puts Prism very much within reach. Get to know GeoPrism at your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
Excuse me, I just saw a jacket being thrown to you. Who was that?
My daughter.
And how's she doing?
Great.
How'd she look?
12
Great.
miles, more than I would do.
And you're out here in the rain supporting her.
Absolutely.
That's great. Next year, are you two going to be running this?
No.
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 Absolutely
But we'll
not.
run, watch her.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you.
And here comes Joseph Kamau in a dominating performance earlier this year in Philadelphia. He won the Broad Street 10-miler. He's adding on the greatest half marathon in America, the Philadelphia Distance Run. His time at the tape, 1:01:30. Less than a minute off the course record time under conditions not nearly set for fast running. Nearly 30 seconds behind. Here goes the race for second. 4 Kenyans, and it looks like Stephen Nyamu's got the leg speed. Jimmy Miundi's in third. We can't see back. Absolutely, Stephen Nyamu. Long, lean, lot of levers, and he's really tearing it up coming down that home stretch. And he's going to take second. Just under 1:02. Jimmy Miundi in third. Then it's Lazarus Nakaraka, and then Goody and Matisha in fifth.
And the women's race, Tony, is still up for grabs. We've got all 4 women who have been running together the entire way.
Who really looks like they've got their formula? It looks like Kanga's off. Looks like Jones does have leg speed. It looks like the Eastern Europeans, the Ukraine and Sirik, the Yugoslavian.
And there she goes. There goes Podnyakova. Those 39-year-old legs do have something left in them.
She's a former national champion in the Soviet Union over 1,500 meters, and you can see that track background coming to the fore, heading to the tape.
Wow, look at those legs move. She is flying.
The winner of the Houston Marathon is now winning the Philadelphia Distance Run Half Marathon. Her time at the tape, 1:12:56. The best women's race we've ever seen this year. Sirik in second, then Jones, then Kanga.
Even though she came in fourth, that's a 3-minute personal best for Veronica Kanga.
How's your race going, Mike?
Very good. I feel great.
Good.
Better than I thought.
Great. You look good.
Thanks.
Michael Flynn, 24, is a graduate student at Temple University and a top-level duathlete who gets his fire from his father.
Well, my father, it's amazing just from watching him, I guess living at home when I was younger, it's just to see the amount of discipline that he had as far as waking up every day and just the devotion that he had to running in general. He just would set his mind to it and just did not want to miss a day of running. And it really, I guess, rubbed off on me and my family to see the devotion and the dedication that he had for running and the love for the sport, because he didn't do it, he wasn't very competitive, he did it because he enjoyed it and made him feel good when he was out there running.
Here is the darling of Philadelphia, Elaine Van Vlunt.
Elaine's not having the race she hoped to today, finishing in 9th place at 1:15:14. But Steve, I don't think she was psychologically returned from the World Championships in Sweden yet.
Yeah, it's a battle, Tony. When you have a bad race and you're going to come and run in front of your hometown crowd, you want it to be a good performance.
What'd you say is bothering you? Your knee?
Well, yeah, my knees are bothering me, but I knew that they probably would.
Yeah.
But other than that,
good.
I'm feeling good.
Allergies are...
No pain, no gain.
You got it. Allergies aren't bothering
My
you?
allergies are great. I got a really good night's sleep, and I woke up this morning and it was fine.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, your dad said you're only going to be about a minute or two behind him, and I think he's got to be 10 minutes up the road here.
Uh-oh, don't say that, Tom. No, that's great. I'm
I still think you got room to catch him, though.
I don't know. I beat him last year, but
Did you?
yeah, I'm not sure about this year.
And
This is my friend John that I just met.
Hi, John.
And he's spurring me on.
64. She's helping me. Fantastic. How do you think your daughter's doing?
I hope she's doing well. I know she's going to try real hard because we have a family of people that like to succeed. So in my case, I'll just be happy if I finish it.
You will. We have faith in you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're looking good, both of you.
Love your motorcycle.
Concentrate, Beth. Beth is a fascinating woman. She's made a business out of puppet making at home.
I might not have done a running marathon, but I've done lots of puppet marathons because I've made over 10,000 puppets, conservatively speaking, and I like to sew them on the porch because then all my neighbors and friends can come and help me.
Hi, how you doing? From New York, Long Island. Almost done. Good race.
People undampened by the weather conditions out there today, Steve, having fun.
Well, it's also important they need to continue to hydrate. Even though it's rainy and wet, you're still putting out an effort, and you still need to replenish what you lose through the sweating.
And here we are at the finish line.
A lot of room in the middle here. A lot of room in the middle.
And the job these volunteers in the chute systems do is remarkable. I know Mike Burns out of Michigan's doing the finish line system, making sure everyone gets their time and their place exactly.
Right there, right there.
And now finishing, there he is. There's Mike Flynn leading the family charge in 1 hour, 23 minutes, 25 seconds.
That's 6:25 mile pace. That's great.
My weight's a lot better than I thought, I'll tell you what, man.
Now we're here for the check presentation. We have Dave Fossey from Chevrolet Geo, the marketing manager. And could you please to our winner, Joseph Kamau, Dave?
Sure. On behalf of Chevrolet Geo and its 4,400 dealers nationwide, I'd like to make this presentation, this check, for your outstanding performance in less than ideal conditions today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave. Congratulations, Joseph. Here's a longer look at the magnificent fluidity of Joseph Kamau. I've seen runners for over 20 years, and there haven't been many who have the elegance, just the most natural body position. It looks effortless, but the amount of energy that goes into making that sort of stride is astounding.
Well, that's the thing. It's so deceptive how fast he's actually running. You know, somebody once said to Bill Rogers, I can't believe how fast you go over a marathon, 2:09. And he responded, no, I can't believe how fast how long it takes other people to run. I have great respect for the people that take 3 hours to run, to be out there for that long. And these are the people at the back of the Packers, and they're important to this event just as much as the people out front are.
Maybe you'll notice some of your neighbors as they finish through the chute system.
Geo Prism has a beautiful interior and comes with standard dual airbags, crush zones, reinforced door pillars, and a rugged steel safety cage, which helps explain why the interior still looks this beautiful, even when it's in this car. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know the new Geo Prism. Geo Prism is built to some of the highest standards of quality. No wonder it's been ranked best model in its price class in initial quality by J.D. Power & Associates 2 years in a row. Now, one might say this puts Prism on somewhat of a pedestal. But being priced as affordably as it is puts Prism very much within reach. Get to know Geo Prism at your Chevrolet Geo dealer.
Ladies, come here. Wait, is this a really good hair day?
It's a great hair day. That's why you wear these. It's a great hair day. Come on, join us.
All right, good luck. Sid. How you doing? Mile and a half left.
You know, Tony, if you're going to run a half marathon, it might as well be somewhere where it's very scenic. And this course has that. It's a gorgeous course, and it also is broken up into segments. At this point, they're along Boathouse Row. All they got left is the museum, the oval, and home.
Steve, the rain has stopped, and it seemed to have picked the spirits back up a little bit as they near that finish line.
Well, as the rain stops, the humidity rises. The temperatures get warming up. It's getting later in the day, and it's gonna be a little bit tougher on these people as they come across.
Don
there's
Flynn.
Don Flynn.
1:48.25, 2 minutes better than last year. You got that good, happy, smiling face on?
A little cold, that's all.
How'd you get this duty?
We all had to meet this morning, and we all got different posts, and I got this.
And you're freezing.
Cold. I mean, I can't complain watching all these people running in the rain.
Yeah, but they're generating heat.
Not me.
What's your name?
Joe Gillespie.
Joe, they all thank you for being here, believe me. We're doing the hard job.
I don't know. It looks like these guys are doing the hard job.
Believe me, everyone we talked to so far says it's great. The conditions are great because they're working hard. So they're all, in 15 minutes, I might be freezing to death, but right now, they're having a good time. Standing around is the hardest thing to do today.
Now I'll go sit at the Eagles game after this.
All right, well, good luck to the M&U. Thanks, Joe. From one happy guy to another. Don Flynn, what'd you finish in? Don, you got here sooner than we thought.
At 1:48.25, I was pretty well pleased. Really liked the conditions. People complain about it, but I think the rain is good because it keeps you cool.
Well, I think the spectators are complaining. I don't think no one we've talked to who ran the race is complaining.
That's good. Yeah, it's a great course. I really love it. It's one of my favorite races.
But 1:48, you see, you did better than last year.
Yes, I was in better shape because I was doing a lot of triathlons and biathlons this year. So I did a lot of cross training. I was surprised though because I felt good throughout the race.
Now we're waiting for Beth. She's a little bit farther behind than last year when she beat you.
Well, yeah, but she has been having allergy problems lately, and she hasn't been able to train as much. But she's a little better than I am usually.
Did you see her out on the course at all today?
No, I didn't see anybody. I was just concentrating on running.
All right, Don, congratulations on a wonderful performance.
All right, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Hopper.
Baseball coach at Philadelphia Textile University, and there's daughter Beth coming across the line. You can see those knees are causing some difficulty. She finished in 1:57, a little bit slower than last year, but happy with her performance.
That's quite a family. I mean, 12 years of consecutive running, and he even ran the day after having a hernia surgery.
Now you're shy. How come? Are you two running together? Do you train together?
No.
Where are you from?
Where
are you from?
Pennsylvania.
How many times have you run this?
This is my first time. First time, fifth or sixth.
So you're the vet. You're the vet. You're carrying her or is she carrying you?
She's carrying it together.
All right. Looking good. Sir, how you feeling? How's this rain treating you?
Feels good.
Yeah? How many times have you been running this?
20 years.
How many?
20 years.
This is your 20th time?
Yeah.
Fantastic. How many times in the rain? First time? How's it treating you? Is it easier in the rain or in the... Yeah? Why is that? It keeps you cool?
Nice and cool.
All right. You're looking good. You're almost at the finish. Did you run?
Yep.
How'd you feel out there?
Okay, I guess.
She survived it. She's 14 years old.
Yeah.
And is this the first time you've run this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You gonna run it next year?
Probably.
Do you think the food you're eating right now is gonna help you train for next year?
Probably not.
But it tastes good now.
I'm sure it does. You guys deserve it.
It was.
Hi, Mom. My first run, it was the best. Patsy, Aetna Health Plan, senior choice.
Come on, it's not the finish line yet. Keep pushing.
Mom, you're doing excellent.
Don't stop. Finish strong.
It's
Finish
right
strong.
up here.
Finish strong. Come on.
Yay, Mom, I'm so proud of you.
Look at everybody. Come on. Get that clock up there. Get that clock up.
Mom, I'm so proud of you.
Good job. Okay. 254.53. 254.
Mom.
Great.
Yay, Mom. Great, guys. Good job. You've been waiting for you. Mom, I'm so proud. Thank you.
Yeah, you need to get you're doing off of his, girl.
You sure?
You see? Good.
I feel like I'm going to cry. Congratulations to you. You were my motivator.
18 years.
I followed you.
That's what makes the Philadelphia distance run right there, Steve. Here's a woman, Beth Flynn, in her first race of her life. She runs 2 hours and 55 minutes. She felt like she was going to cry as we look at a replay of the move in the race that Joseph Kamal made between 6 and 7 miles into the strong northeast headwind, and that broke this field as if he were running up a stiff hill. But the story of the Flynns, from young Michael at 24 all the way to Don and Beth, best in the world all the way to the people doing it for the first time. That spectrum is what makes distance running on the roads in America.
And whether you're first or you're coming in 3 hours, you still have the same feeling at the end of the race. Beth still feels like she had that sense of accomplishment the same way that the winner of the race would have.
Achievement was a key word at the top of the program, and it's manifested both in the magnificence of Joe Kamal and the dedication and determination of Beth Flynn. I don't think Kagwa's going to get him this time either. The women's race, we saw this pack develop very early on, and we saw these women carry it all the way to the finish line. And now as we go back and look and replay, we can see that Tatiana Pozniakova, it's got her head down. I mean, she's got so many gears left in those legs, even though she's 39 years old. You can see that she hasn't extended herself, and she's got plenty of running left in her legs as we look back on it. And this is where she lets it all loose and just destroys these women in the last 200 meters.
It looked like she was at the starting line of a 400-meter dash, the way she took off.
Distance running has a tendency to take the snap out of your stride, and she's got all the lift that she seemingly had when she was in her 20s and 30s and one of the finest 1,500-meter runners in the world. Let's put it like this, 356 over 1,500 meters is something on the order of a 4:12 or 4:13 mile. That's how fast she was, and that speed was on display here at the PDR 95. It was not the best day to run here at the 18th running of the Philadelphia Distance Run for the absolutely fastest people out on the course. But Steve, all the people that we interviewed afterwards back in the pack, here to have fun, one and all said it was a great day to run.
Well, out of all the shows that we've ever done, Tony, I think this is the first time that it was harder on us in the truck than on the people out there running the course. It was pretty miserable and wet out there, but, people had a good time.
First time in 18 years, of course, that it's rained. Also the first time we've ever had a women's race where 4 women duked it out the entire way, and that's unique, and it really shows the quality and quantity of distance running for women. That's changed over the last couple of years, and it was shown here today.
Well, it's going to be a big boost for women's running in general to have a race that's that competitive. 4 women within 3 seconds of each other, and that's what spurs on the interest in the sport, and it was a great race to see.
Who would have thought that the 39-year-old Pozniakova would be the one that had the leg speed to take it at the end, but she's been surprising us with great performances all year long. We saw great kids racing yesterday. We saw the Flynn family all getting it together, and Beth finishing her first race. All in all, a great day of running here at the 18th running of the Philadelphia Distance Run. So for Steve Scott, I'm Tony Garvis in Center City at the fountain, appropriately wet as can be. Hope to see you next year out on the roads. Our thanks go to the following for their support. Supporting PDR sponsor Geo. Aetna, official sponsor of the Aetna Children's Run. Modell's, Wissahickon Water, WOGL, 1210 The Game, TDI, Ronzoni, and Fashion Bug.
Geo Prism has a beautiful interior and comes with standard dual airbags, crush zones, reinforced door pillars, and a rugged steel safety cage, which helps explain why the interior still looks this beautiful, even when it's in this car. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know the new Geo Prism.